Gentlemen, welcome back to MGTOW Money. Today's topic, the misery of going MGTOW. Before we get to that, thank you to the ongoing support of the Patreon investors of this channel. Welcome Arthur, the newest member of Patreon investors of this channel. Men, see the video description today. Become a Patreon supporter of this channel now. Let's get on to today's topic, the misery of going MGTOW. Men, are you miserable? I don't know about you, I'm not. And certainly I'm not because of MGTOW. However, let me set the stage here, what prompted this. And by the way, I do not do and have never done any sort of, quote, response video to another MGTOW or person who's doing something that was in the manosphere, etc. I have no interest in doing that. However, this topic was spawned by someone, and specifically it was someone to set the story here. About 4 or 5 years ago, when I first became aware of MGTOW, and literally I stumbled into it after having spent 18, 19 years as being a divorced bachelor, totally living alone for the past 18, 19 years at that time, and now it's so well over 23, 24. Needless to say, when I first heard this man's videos, I was blown away, only because he was setting sort of an intellectual framework, giving me some more concrete ideas of intuitive thoughts that I had about men and women and female relations, etc. And I really appreciated and respected what this man had said. However, evidently recently, he has chosen to post a video where he is talking about, quote unquote, that many men that are going MGTOW today are left in a state of, quote, immiseration. And yes, I had to look up that word. I didn't know what immiseration meant, but that means miserable. And that, quote unquote, MGTOW is not very satisfying. And that at best, it's a quote unquote survival strategy. And by the way, that's a bad thing, that I guess that to be a survival strategy. And the majority of MGTOW, quote unquote, are not happy at all. Most men want to have children. And for many men, MGTOW is not satisfying and contented. I was surprised. Let's just leave it at that. Needless to say, from this man's perspective, having been 2 decades now, I'm defining myself as a MGTOW for well over 2 decades, that there are actually tremendous benefits to being a MGTOW. And the idea is not that I've ever run away from something or that I've turned away from something. Actually, for me, and I hope for you, that we have moved towards something and that my life is far better. And I'm going to give you 4 specific reasons that I perceive my life as better, as well as ideas that I've shared with other men. 1, I can say for a fact, my focus is much, much better. My clarity of focus is much better. The reason why this is critical, your ability to focus gives you the ability to achieve something. You will never achieve any sort of great goal or tremendous goal that's just personal to you without your ability to focus. Whether you want to be a great painter, whether you want to be a great musician, whether you want to travel the world, whether you want to be an expert in some sort of astronomy, or maybe you want to be a master MJ grower, as one man referenced to me in an email via Patreon. The point being is that unless you have focus, you will not be able to achieve these things. And going MGTOW, men, I will virtually guarantee you, will increase the probability. It will make it much easier for you to focus on your life's goals. 2, yes, MGTOW is a survival strategy. No question about it. However, that to me is a tremendous benefit. We shouldn't be putting down people for pursuing a survival strategy. We shouldn't be denigrating them. Actually, that is a tremendous benefit. Reducing your chances of financial ruin seems like to me a good idea, especially for a man as he gets older and hopefully accumulate some assets. Do you really want to go into a casino, for example, put your money on red or black on the roulette wheel and hope that your assets survive? Because effectively, that's what you're going to be doing with half your assets. Again, in particular for an older man, once they enter into a marriage, you're putting up at least half your assets. Remember, Things don't survive by accident, men. They survive for a reason. And having a survival strategy is a good place to be, in my opinion. 3, MGTOW is tremendously empowering. It increases your confidence. It doesn't decrease your confidence. It makes you stronger. You learn, at least as I have learned through the years, I am much more able, psychologically if nothing else, to take care of myself. You realize you don't have to be reliant on an external person for any of your needs. You can take care of yourself, men. You can become, as I've mentioned before, using Nassim Taleb's phrase, you can become anti-fragile, where stressors, as opposed to bringing you down, you can become stronger for them. You can become even better for them. You can feel better tomorrow than you did today as you overcome these obstacles. Again, going MGTOW, you will learn that. Most importantly, men, why does this channel exist? This is all about how you can achieve financial independence and freedom. I can say I am virtually certain from my own experience, it is extremely unlikely that I would have ever achieved financial independence, and certainly not at the age that I did when I was in my 40s, if I had been married with children. I'm not saying that men cannot achieve financial independence with being married in a family. However, the odds will dramatically increase. The chances will increase tremendously if you go MGTOW, if you focus on those 4 no's that I've mentioned so many times before. If your goal is financial freedom, if you really want to have any degree of financial freedom, even if you just want to be a man, hey, look, I'm 50, I'm 55, I work a little bit here and there, and basically I just hang out the rest of the time. That's awesome, man. You've achieved financial freedom. You've achieved something that's extremely unusual, because the vast majority of people in the West, 50s, 60s, and now going into their 70s, the vast majority are working at a job that they hate, they can't stand. They're dreading every single day they drag themselves into the office. Again, if you go MGTOW, especially at an early age, you will increase the chances that you're not going to be one of them. Let me briefly summarize this, and let me add some additional comments here. 1, benefits of MGTOW. Focus, focus, focus. You've got the ability to achieve your goals. 2, yes, it is a survival strategy. No question about it. And that's a good thing, not a bad thing. 3, you will become more confident. You will realize that, hey, I can handle this. I can get through this. I'm going to be okay. I don't need to be depressed, because you know what? I'm good. I can get over this mountain. 4, most importantly, you can achieve financial independence at a relatively young age. You can do it. You can set up multiple streams of income at a relatively young age. You do not have to be working for the man till you're 70. You can achieve FU money at a relatively young age. It can be done. I've done it. I know multiple other men have done it. You read the comment section, you will see other men have done it. Let me also finish up by saying I'm going to include a link. This is important. The video that has generated the most insults directed towards me was a video where I referenced that I recognize that some men do go through phases in life. In other words, well, today I'm a MGTOW, and maybe 12 months, 18 months from now, whatever it might be, well, MGTOW's not for me. I recognize that. I accept that. And I accept, furthermore, of course, that most men do want to have children. And correspondingly, to have children, the typical Western way, of course, is getting married, etc., and having a family. That's fine. And if you're one of those men, I do understand. I wish you the best of luck, brother, and I mean that sincerely. I would highly recommend, again, you go back and listen to that video that I did, that I'm going to include in the description, regarding some ideas to protect yourself. Because if you're one of those, most of those men that are ultimately going to pursue the, if you will, the Jordan Peterson path, then I sincerely recommend you protect yourself. I'm telling you this as a man who is in his 50s, who has seen plenty of men throughout my life financially ruined, who decided to take the Jordan Peterson path Furthermore, if you have any question about what I'm saying, read some of the comments. And again, you'll see many men supporting exactly what I'm saying. Gentlemen, I hope you found this useful. Most importantly, I hope you found this profitable. Hit the like button if you did. John Galt out.